Hi Virgo, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your March 2021 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you interested in booking personal reading with me, just check out the description of the video for more details there. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, we have a Celtic cross spread, and I also pulled an Oracle card and a Mudra card for you guys, and we're actually going to start the reading off rolling these astrology dice that are in front of us to help us get an idea of where your focus will be astrologically speaking. So, see if we get there. Okay, we have 11, so that's your 11th house, which for you guys is actually Cancer energy, and that could be a focus around your friendships, the groups you deal with, hopes and wishes. We have Capricorn energy, which is actually your 5th house, so, you know, we still have Pluto there. It's not nearly as busy as it has been, but still a pretty significant planet there. And then we also have the South Node. So the South Node is in Sagittarius. That's your 4th house of home, family, early upbringing. So those are the areas of focus, and we'll get started with the main spread. The main situation position, we have excuse me, we have the King of Swords, which is Aquarius energy, and the Four of Pentacles, which is Capricorn energy. So we did see the Capricorn energy come up in your dice, and technically Aquarius is the natural ruler of the 11th, so already we're seeing the alignment there. But really what I'm seeing here, well, it could be a few different things, but one thing that comes to mind looking at this, the Aquarius energy, obviously there's been a ton of energy going on there, even with the sun moving past there and moving into Pisces in March. Well, it's going to be moving there in a couple days technically, but with it being out of Aquarius, and then also, we had the new moon in Aquarius recently, plenty of energy leaving there, but we're still going to have Mercury still going to be there for a bit. Jupiter and Saturn are there for a longer stay as well, so a lot of energy going on there. And for you guys, that is your 6th house, which is the house you guys naturally rule, which ties to your health, to your work, your daily routines. So seeing that, and then the Four of Pentacles here could just be saying that you're putting a lot of focus on your work lives and your health, your daily routine, and then also possibly even being closed off when it comes to love and romance because of that. You could be like, all right, I have to focus on my health. All these other things are on the top of my list. That's going to have to, take a back seat for the time being. So that's why I see playing out there. For others of you, it could just be saying that you're really giving a lot of thought to investments, thinking about where best to invest your time, money, and resources. That's another way I could see playing out as well. And it could just be saying that in general, you might be coming across as very detached and closed off to people in your environment right now. All right, in the Challenger obstacle position, we have the 9 of Wands. So similar energy here as far as the being closed off part anyway, but seeing this come up and being that it is Sag energy, and we did talk about how the South Node is one of your focuses this month, and that's where the South Node is located. So this could just be saying that you might have this viewpoint because this is things that you've learned from your early upbringing. That's one way it could be playing out. For others of you, there could be a bit of conflict within your family and home environment as well, so that could have you a bit guarded and maybe just shifting your focus to other areas rather than actually trying to look at that and confront it. So that's one way I could see you playing out too. And if this is around interpersonal relationships, let's say like a romantic relationship, I could see where this could be a situation where maybe you're coming across as very closed off and focused on other things, and this person might feel a bit thrown off by that. Or could be the other way around, where someone's taking that approach toward you and it has you feeling guarded, like what's going on. In the foundation position, we have the Page of Wands and the King of Cups. So pretty big contrast of energies here. This is actually the court card for Scorpio. And then seeing the Page of Wands along with that, this is definitely a much more light, playful energy, right? Go out and get things done type energy. Whereas this is a much more guarded, fixed energy, like with the King of Swords. Could just be saying that, maybe energetically you're being nudged to put yourselves out there a bit more, but underneath it all, you're still feeling like you're not quite ready to, so you could still be coming across, again, like I said, a bit closed off and guarded. And again, if this is around a relationship, we could see the two different personalities there, right? Where one person might be very outgoing and the other person could be a lot more private. So obviously that could be causing a clash there too. But I will say this is King of Cups for you guys. Scorpio energy is your third house communication. So it could just be saying that you're being urged to communicate. In the past position, we have Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy again. So like we were talking about with the South Node popping up for you, and the Chariot, which is Cancer energy. So could just be saying that in the past, you might have had a lot of balance when it comes to your family and home life and actually with your friendships, your hopes and wishes. So, these things could have been working in harmony for you guys. And maybe for whatever reason now those are out of whack. And that could be the problem, right? So maybe these things were running smoothly to where you might have even felt like you didn't necessarily have to maintain it, right? You might have felt like these things were things that were kind of just taking care of themselves. And maybe due to that, that's what allowed you to put so much focus on yourself. Like, okay, I'm going to, work on my health habits, my daily routines, my work, right? And not really have to worry about these other things because they were kind of taking care of themselves. But maybe now you're in a situation where you're getting some more demands from those areas of your life, and you're like, okay, now what, right? So that's one way I could see that energy playing out. In the present position, we have the Lovers. So this is actually the major arcana card for Gemini, and that's your 10th house of career and social status. Now we do have the North Node there, so we were talking about how the South Node looks like it'll be a focus for you guys this month, but the North Node is in your 10th house, and that could be part of it too, where you feel like energetically you're being nudged more toward your career and social status, right? But maybe there's some needs around family that are coming up and causing a conflict in that regard. And not to mention the fact that Mars will be moving into Gemini pretty early on in March too. It'll be there for pretty much all of March and then around half of April. So it's going to be there for quite a while. But that also could be adding fuel to the fire for you guys to put more focus on your career and social status. Now, for some of you, this can represent just opening up in that area as well. I will say that that's another way it can be playing out in a more positive sense, and possibly even a nice meeting of the minds between you and another person in that area of your life. And of course, obviously, it can point to romantic connections too, but just wanted to give some alternate explanations. But in the near future position, we have the Two of Cups. So Cancer energy here, and this is for you guys your 11th house. So like I said, this can just be around friendships, or maybe you guys just find someone to collaborate with in the workplace, maybe something you've wanted to work on for a long time. Doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but either way, this does look like a meeting of the minds, two people who bring something of value to the table, right? And we see the connection there. So for those of you, if this is a romantic connection, obviously that would be a good thing. And this could just be a situation where, again, maybe your focus was so heavy on sixth house matters because of all the things that were moving through there, astrologically speaking. And now, as we're moving to Pisces season and you're going to have the Sun and Venus there, maybe that's what's kind of letting your focus shift a little bit from that area. So that's how that could be playing out. All right, in the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Knight of Cups. So this is actually Pisces energy here, which is your opposite sign. So again, we might see you guys actually being a bit more open to love or even just collaboration and creativity, where we see you definitely a bit more closed off and guarded in the main situation. So it could just be the energetic shift you guys are going to feel, especially given that the Mercury retrograde was in your sixth house too. So that could have had you reevaluating all of those things, right? Everything related to the sixth house. And now as that energy clears and we clear the shadow period around mid-March, that might actually have you feel more comfortable and confident to focus on other areas. In this case, like I said, could be love, could be just being more open as far as creativity goes, being a bit more expressive. That's what I'm seeing there. All right. In the environment position, we have the Four of Cups in reverse. So Cancer energy here. So once again, we see that 11th house connection. So this could just be saying maybe some of you guys are going to be interacting with a new group. So for example, if you've been disappointed with your friendships or groups that you've been associating with up to this point, right? With the Four of Cups, you in the upright, that would say that you weren't doing anything about it. So there was the dissatisfaction, but also an unwillingness to be an active participant in changing those circumstances. But with this coming up in reverse, looks like you could actually be taking action. So some of this could just be you guys realizing, okay, yes, I'm not necessarily satisfied with the friendships or groups I'm associating with now. I'm actually going to take action to help improve that on my own, right? So that's definitely a positive thing to see there. If this is someone else you've been dealing with, where, like we were saying, perhaps maybe you're dealing with someone who's very closed off and detached, this could point to them actually possibly opening up as well. And it could just be really both of you might have been pretty closed off because, again, like I said, that Nine of Wands, even if that's another person, then you guys are the King of Swords or vice versa. Pretty closed off energies in both regards. So could just be saying that now, energetically things just might be better for you guys to actually have that meeting of the minds and come back toward each other. So that's what I see there. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Knight of Swords. So this is Gemini energy, and like we were saying, that's your 10th house. North node there, Mars moving there early in March. Could just be saying that you're hoping for some movement around your career and social status, right? So maybe you have been putting in such a high level of work that now you're like, okay, I'd like to see the rewards around that, right? For others of you, it could just be saying that you're possibly a little bit worried about being misunderstood, because when I see this card come up, especially given that Horus is kind of moving toward the past position in the spread, it always makes me think of the Mercury retrograde energy. So, you could still be a little gun shy from that too, feeling like, all right, I don't want my words to be misconstrued, right? So you could be a little bit extra careful around how you're communicating. And that could definitely be the case too, given that we do see the Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck. But again, this can be another thing where, like I said, could be you guys having that heavy focus on work and career. So it could play out either way. And in the outcome position, we have the Hanged Man, which is Pisces energy, the Two of Pentacles, which is Capricorn energy, and the Six of Cups, which is Scorpio energy. So interesting mixture of energies here. We see the 7th house, which can relate to relationships, partnerships. The Two of Pentacles, 5th house, can relate to romance, creativity. And then we see Scorpio energy here, 3rd house, communication, right? So this could just be saying that, maybe you guys have really given this a lot of thought as to whether or not you did have some room for a romantic connection in your life. Again, like we said, given all the multitude of other things you guys probably are dealing with, right? It could have just been as simple as that. Maybe there was a desire there to a certain point, but you're like, but how the hell would I even fit that in, right? So could just be saying that you guys are figuring out that balance and you're actually going to come forward and try to get things off the ground with this person. If that's the case, it looks like most likely it would be someone that you have dealt with in the past, even if there wasn't a connection between the two of you, as far as you never made it official, but maybe there was someone in your environment where there was some mutual interest, but for whatever reason you might have just felt like the timing wasn't right. Could just say there that you're actually going to be moving toward this person. And like I said, this really could just be more of the astrological energies playing out with the super heavy focus you guys had in the 6th house, and now things moving more to your 7th. So that could be what that's about. And moving on to your oracle card, we have Go the Distance. There's the artwork, and the number is 47. Okay, it says endurance, strength, the long haul. The Oracle's message: to bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. So, pretty positive message there. And it looks like I said, it looks like you're a little bit closed off in the beginning, but it does look like you're going to open up a bit more, and that's probably going to be the key for you guys having that forward momentum. The relationship message says you either are in or are calling in a harmonious relationship that can stand the test of time. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs and even strain, break yourself, and are remade in new growth, you are being redeemed by the power of regeneration. Harmony does not mean there will never be a wrong note played, but that the relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and the symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? So another pretty positive message there too. And it did say, either calling in or already in. So that could be for some of you, maybe this is a brand new connection, or like I said, with that Six of Cups there, for others of you, it might be someone that's been on your radar. But again, like I said, you might have just had such a heavy focus on other areas that there might not have been room to get it off the ground in the past. All right. And the prosperity message says your most precious dreams are not about instant gratification, but enduring prosperity. This is a time to think long term and engage in continued action. You will experience momentum building as you translate the ebb and flow into slow and steady movement forward. Your efforts, ideas, and hard work now can lead to greater riches than you can imagine. Stoke the fire so that an uninterrupted stream of energy is available to support you in all the phases of manifestation. Be assured that you are in the right place right now. So definitely a pretty positive message there, and even like I said, especially given that for you guys in particular, lovers, Gemini energy does represent your 10th house of career and social status. That could even be the symbolism there, where that angel symbolism in the background represents things being worked out in your best interest in the background and putting you at the right place at the right time. So hopefully that resonates with you guys as well. All right, and lastly, we have a mudra. So the mudra you guys got for this month is the Granthita mudra. There it is there. And the keyword for it is redemption. All right, and there's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to see what it has to say. But under benefits, it says prepares the mind for meditation, opens Vishuddha chakra, the throat center, benefits the voice, improves thyroid function, increases the body's self-healing capacity, especially in cases of cancer. So if you feel like something that sounds like something that would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name of the mudra in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.